And these are all photographs taken by these women, and you can see their name on top, their pseudonyms. Everywhere they went, they were asked, do you have Canadian experience? And women said, if you don't give me a chance to work, how will I have Canadian experience? As a result of these women, they started asking this question, who am I? I had a full life back home. Now we have to recognize not only are women de-skilled, but the men are de-skilled, meaning that they are not given opportunities to work for what they are qualified. As a result, women are forced to go out and do survival jobs. And these are women who are PhDs and electrical engineers, and they're saying, who am I? So when I was dreaming of a PhD, I used to look, I knew what I wanted, but I was working as a maid, I was cleaning houses, I was working in a factory, I was doing everything possible to survive by myself those 7 years. And I wondered, how will I ever get there? Similarly, these women, through these photographs of the CN Tower, are asking, I know the jobs I want to do, but how will I get there? This is Laila from China, who was a chemical engineer, and she's through her photograph, she's giving a contrast between what her life in China was and what it is in Canada. So what happens? So we admit women who are highly qualified. We have to understand that immigration is no longer a male phenomenon, which it used to be for a very long time. 51% of immigrants who are coming to this country as of last statistics are women. They want to swim the ocean. They want to fly, like one of your panelists said. However, they feel trapped due to lack of recognition of their human and social capital. Birds in a cage represents my desire for freedom. Because I'm an immigrant, I'm not free to do what I like to do as far as employment is concerned. But there's another irony. You look at that, I'm still the outsider. Research suggests that for European immigrants, it's easier to be integrated based on the color of their skin rather than for Kajal women. And I'll talk a little more later about self and other dichotomy. What were the barriers to settlement? Climate, most of them come from warm countries. We have to recognize that immigration policies have a great impact on people. Whenever I go and speak with the service providers, I tell them, please understand that. I've used intersectionality theory, and I don't want to go into theoretical frameworks, but the most important thing I want to say to you is, we cannot make an assumption that gender is the primacy factor marginalizing these women. For Alma, she married a pilot, a Canadian pilot, fell in love when she was visiting Canada, came here and realized that he was paying child support for 2 other marriages and couldn't support her. She lived in the trailer for 6 months until winter with a little boy. She begged of her brother-in-law to take her in. He sexually abused her, threw her out of the house. She landed in a physician's office who had 10 animals. While the Canadian women were being paid $23 an hour, she was being paid $11 an hour to do the same job. Gender intersected with immigration policy and geography. She lived in a rural area of Grand Erie. So there's another irony. One is the de-skilling, but there's also that the jobs, while the government is pushing immigrants to go to smaller towns, there are no jobs for PhDs, not even for Canadians. There are no jobs for engineers. And transportation for immigrant women is a big, big issue. Many of them never drove back home. A consistent theme was, I am different. I never knew I was a minority until I came here. Now, none of these women know each other, but they took similar photographs. Resident's heart is like the stone. Employer's heart. Many of them said, why can't we work together? What does it matter if my skin is black, white, green, orange? What is it? Why can't we work together? Aren't we in the company for the same goal, for the productivity of the company, for the productivity of the employer, for the productivity of the nation? Why can't we work together? Many of them were doing 2-3 survival jobs, and it affected their health and family. When people at work see blackness, my black skin, they relate it to dirty, something that is permanent and cannot be cleaned by washing. Ruda went to work one morning, and her manager and the staff were there. And she washed her hands. She works as a caregiver in a nursing home. And her manager said, "Why are you washing your hands? No matter how much you wash your hands, your black hands will never become white." And this is in front of the employees.